TV. Everybody's gearing up for the World Cross Country Championship. That's happening here in Uganda. It's a big event. I hope you know it is. And this morning we want to look at a couple of things. Preparation, how ready are we for the championship, but how ready are we to milk this? You know, we've got to milk everything we can from this. It's an international event. I understand about 54 countries are descending on Uganda. I'll be corrected if I'm wrong on that. But anyhow, let's talk about that on the big story. Let me get to my guests now. We have Moses Watasa, is Commissioner, Information Dissemination, Monitoring and Inspection, Office of the Prime Minister. Good morning.
Good morning, Joel, and good morning, Uganda. It's a good day.
It sure is a good day. I hope it will be a good weekend, and hopefully Apollo Musherure here will be telling us about the medals that we shall have won, so it will be a very good weekend. He's the Assistant General Secretary, Uganda Athletics Federation. Good morning.
Good morning, Joel, and good morning, our viewers, this morning.
All right, Moses, let me begin with you. This for me, I would like to think is a big event. I am not so sure we are treating it as such. Do you feel we are in the information dissemination now that that's your docket and so on? Are we doing everything we can to give it the international impetus it should have?
Joel, it's arguably one of the biggest that we've had in this country because this World Cross Country contest is it's the 42nd edition. It's coming to Uganda for the very first time. Uganda is the fourth African country to host this. It has been hosted before by Kenya, South Africa, and Morocco. Now, you said we have 54. We actually have 60 countries participating in this from all over the world. We've got 540 athletes participating. We've also got over 300 officials from all over the world. We've got global media here in Uganda. So it's, as far as Uganda is concerned, I've been sharing with the Apollo here. It's actually the biggest we've hosted before. We've hosted so far as a country. It's good for us, and one, it raises the profile of Uganda. You know the history of this country. I've been to a lot of parts of the world where they will ask you, so how is President Amin and things like that. But that we have a sporting event of this stature means that our rating in global standards is high now. Because, by the way, when we bidded, we competed with big players in the world.
How did we win this, by the way? I'm interested in knowing.
It's a bidding process. Maybe I don't know, but I know it's a bidding process. We bidded alongside so many countries, and we had to convince the world that as Uganda, one, we have the capacity to host it, that this country is safe, and that, you know, all these people can come here and stay safely, and we conduct the cross-country. So we, for example, Bahrain, one of these rich countries in the Middle East, was one of the final contenders with Uganda. And you know those countries and what they are able to do. But we won. Our negotiation team was led by Honorable Charles Bakabulindi, who is the Minister of State for Sports and Education. But of course, we got a big hand from Mama Janet, the new Minister of Education, when she came in. Because when she came, the preparations were on, but you know, she also gave us the final push, and you know, we won. But before this, teams had to come. 4 teams from the IAAF, the International Amateur Athletics Federation. They came to Uganda to look at the facilities, to look at the infrastructure, to look at the preparedness, to look at how safe Uganda is. All this, Uganda was given a clean bill of health. And that's why we are happy. There are so many international journalists here, but we're also looking at this as an opportunity beyond the sports, to raise the sports, the level, but also now that Uganda is under the global spotlight, we want to position Uganda as a peaceful, progressive, safe country to invest in. But we also know, Joel, that this is one of the best tourism destinations in the world.
I hope we can use this.
And that's why we have the likes of UTB on board, tour operators, and we are looking forward to a great weekend in our country.
Apollo, how ready are we? You know, during Olympics, I saw some athletes saying, look, we are going, but some, you know, we're not too sure they had the right gear, boots, and so on, canvas, as simple as that for running. Are we ready for this?
Thank you, Joel. We are very ready as a country. When you have an event of this magnitude, as he put it, you have different entities that you bring on board. And it's an integral process to have a championship or an event of this magnitude to be a success. So when we won the bid to host, as part of the arrangements, we had a board of directors meeting, a board of directors that is at the top. Of course, as he said, coordinated by the Prime Minister, because it brings on board several ministries. Internal Affairs, Ministry of Defense. We're using Korea Airstrip, it is under Ministry of Defense. You need guests to come in, and Internal Affairs has to come in. Foreign Affairs has to come in. Because one of the things that gave us an impetus to win, we convinced the world that we are not going to charge visa fees for all our guests. And we've been able to do this as a country. All our guests, all our athletes that are coming in, and the other previous teams that have been coming in have not been charged visa fees. So you need different ministries come on board. So the OPM coordinates that. Now beneath that you have the board of directors, which is chaired by the First Lady. And I can tell you, Joel, there's a time we were cracking and we thought we would not be able to move ahead. But when we had meetings with the First Lady, things moved. We had issues to do with the resource envelope. Monies came and we were able to move on. Apart from that, we also have a local organizing committee which is chaired by Bakaburindi, where different committees, now the technical committees fall. Now I want to go to our preparedness. On January 14th, we had our test event, which was a national event, our national cross-country, but also we used it as a selection meet to select Team Uganda to go for training. Before that, we had selected a tentative team which was in residential training for 1 month. Now, after 14th January, Team Uganda was sent to go for a residential training. And they've been in residential training in Kapchorwa, and they are coming today to be part of the rest of the teams that get the accreditation. So about the preparedness of Team Uganda, yes, I believe we are not only hosting, but we are hosting also to win. We would love to see a Ugandan or Ugandans receiving medals on Sunday at the airstrip.
Talking of medals, of course these medals come with investment. Moses, you work for government, and often regarding sports, people feel government has kind of neglected sports. It's not paying as much attention to it, and by attention I mean money, investing, and athletics, for example. We have talked for a while about the high altitude training center, you know, that has yet to come through. Many times we seem to prepare last minute and give it to our people when they eventually make it, get a medal or two and that kind of thing. It's a good thing, but one would think if we are going to be able to get a lot more, we need to invest. That's not quite happening.
Joel, I mean, in this country, you know the history of the economy and what the government is able to fund. Just yesterday, you heard that LC1 elections have been delayed. Because money had to be mobilized quickly for the famine that has been prolonged drought. What I'm saying is that the government has the commitment, but we've got so many competing priorities, and I can tell you, like you rightly said, I work for government. There's no ministry or agency in this country that will tell you that they are well funded. I've not seen any. If there's any, I want to know. But what I'm saying is that the government has the commitment. Remember the high altitude training facilities, the president himself talked about that. I believe that as money gets available, as we improve collection of our taxes, a lot of these things will be done. But if you look at security, for example, in my view, it's one of the highest priorities, because nothing else can happen unless you secure the country. So the thinking is that there are some of the real crucial burning priorities that we need to solve that doesn't mean that sports has been relegated. You know that a lot of times, actually the president himself has come in to support, you know, the sports activities, these runners, you know, he has supported them directly. He has given them some infrastructure. He has put in funds. But as the collection improves, I'm sure we are going to see, because sports is something very good. It brings the country together. It's showcasing our culture, our country, our unique features. Uganda is arguably the best country in the world. Anyone who has been around the world will tell you. So we are looking at sports just beyond the people getting on a track and running. It's a very good thing, but we can also leverage sports to position Uganda as a peaceful, progressive, and a good country to invest in, to do tourism in, for people to come and you know, bring in the money. So the budgeting increases progressively. In government, we have what we call the medium-term expenditure framework, which are ceilings in the short term, in the medium term. But from what I know, in the next subsequent priorities of government, sports is going to be getting more money than they are getting today.
And you can be sure, Moses, we shall hold you to that promise.
I'll be back here, Joel, to tell you that you see the funding has increased.
I'm sure you will. I hope you will be here to tell us, you see, this is how it was allocated, as opposed to now we have pushed it to the next financial year.
Joel, I can add something on that. You remember when during the, I think it was Africa Games, they were in, I think, Mozambique, when Negesa won, the president at that time, that's when he directed for the fast tracking of the National High Altitude Training Center. And shortly after that, the president started giving monthly stipend to athletes. It was not structured, but Ministry of Education is now trying to structure it.
Do they still get those stipends, by the way?
I can't tell you, they get, as and when funds are available. They may take some...
So it's not regular?
No. They may take like 2 months without getting, but when money comes, they get it all at once. That's what I'm saying. Like if, for instance, Kiprotich is supposed to get, say, 5 million shillings because he's a gold winner, and that's what the president gave for gold winners, and he has taken 3 months without getting, if he's going to get, he'll get his 15 million shillings. And this money goes directly onto their accounts. This money helps these athletes in their training to meet their needs. Some of them have their families, and they don't have jobs that they're doing. So if one is doing training, is able to get some money to enable him, assist him do some training, but also leave money which can support his family. So the president has been forthcoming, particularly to do matters to do regarding sports.
I hope we can now do a lot more investing before, as opposed to first win and then
even this,
be able to give you something.
Even this, Joel, people may not know, but for us to be able to host this championship was because our president gave us a go-ahead. It is his letter that convinced the international world that Uganda is ready. Because at that time, issues of security came in, terrorism, but we said, look, Uganda has actually been able to combat terrorism beyond its national frontiers. And there were evidence to that effect. You know, Ugandans have been in Somalia trying to restore order in that country. So we are able to get a bonus. But we said, for us in Uganda, our number one fan is His Excellency the President. And of course, plus other things we're able to present as a country, you know, who is the chief executive is. So Uganda was able to host. And me, I would love that we look at this particular event in regard, when you're looking at it in regard to government, I must tell you, it is co-funded by IAAF and Uganda government. The IAAF has not given us money for this event. It only caters for tickets for athletes to come in and fly out of the country. Now, the big chunk of the money that we have used and we are using for this championship has directly come from government. We are using 4 hotels. We booked Sheraton, we booked Metropole, and we booked Hotel Africana Plus Metropole. All these
I don't hear Serena in all this mix. You people are saboteurs of progress. Anyhow, that's the point.
has received some guests. But what I'm saying is that to book, for instance, Sheraton and you say you are having booking 120 rooms, to book Imperial, the whole of it, and Africana, the whole of it, athletes are coming, eating, sleeping, and going back. It's a lot of investment. So if you are talking in terms of government investment, in regard to this, personally, I see where government commitment has been almost 100%.
Moses, let's talk about another investment that is worrying people. People thought that they would be able to watch this, but we understand the national broadcaster says we have not gotten money, you know, we are not too sure we are going to broadcast this live, and people are thinking, wait a minute, this is going to be happening at home, but we can't watch it.
I can answer that, I think.
Moses,
okay,
that's for you.
Okay, ideally, it's good because, like I said, sports events are like a grand, you know, union of cultures, and it's a good thing. It's a feel-good thing, and obviously, ideally, the best thing would be to carry it live. But I know there are parts, the key parts of what is going to happen. The marathon that is going to be live on television, and possibly Apollo could give us some details. But I know
live on which television? Away from pay TV, which not many people can access.
The thing is, you have been, you know, they're what we call rights, TV rights,
which are paid for.
Which are paid for. So, and when we are bidding for this, and when we came back to planning, we had to divide responsibilities. There are responsibilities that fall under us as athletics, and there are responsibilities that fall under KCCA. I must inform our viewers that this event is given to us as a country, but it is named after the hosting city. That's why you call it Kampala 2017. So KCCA has part of the budget, and part of the budget came through the Ministry of Education and came to us as athletics. Now, broadcasting falls under KCCA. Now, in terms of budgeting, I think it was an oversight to cater for the TV rights. There have been...
People had not even looked into it.
There has been some negotiations, but I think it is not too late. I understand there has been some communication, and there will be a leeway. By close of business tomorrow, we shall be able to know. But I need to inform our viewers to, I need to array their fears that this event will be broadcast, and they'll be able to watch it. I understand there has been...
Is that a promise you're making, Apollo?
I am not promising 100%, but I know certainly there's been negotiation, including the high level or the office of the Prime Minister that has been at the steering front of this, saying we have to pay for Ugandans to be able to watch this particular event that we are hosting. So yes, the national broadcaster doesn't have the rights, but negotiations are on, and we believe that we shall get a headway at the end of the day.
All right. Moses, you said 60 countries are in this place. I don't know how many people. You tell us the number too. Security, how are we making sure this is the case? You know, last week alone, the country was, and to a great extent, is still in mourning, and many people out there have been seeing what's been happening, and there's a bit of concern. What assurance are you giving to not just Ugandans, but our visitors that all is well?
Joel, all is well in this country. Of course, what happened last week was so bad. We all know what happened, the murder of Andrew. It was horrible. It shocked the country. It shocked us. But if you look at the big picture, Uganda is a stable country. I think everyone would agree. But you know, security, although I'm not an expert per se, there are so many factors and parameters to security. The policing, the community, the vigilance. I mean, just about 2 days ago, or was it yesterday, we heard about a shooting incident at the parliament in the UK. You wouldn't say that shooting incidents out of the...
It actually wasn't a shooting incident, really.
Yeah, or a vehicle attack or something like that. You wouldn't say it's because the security in UK is necessarily wanting, but what it means is that we should be more vigilant. But this country is safe. Things like this have happened. They are regrettable, but they don't happen every day, certainly. They don't happen every month. But we regret what happened. The message we have for our visitors and for our people is that the country is safe. And please come out and in big numbers and watch the cross-country. But also for our visitors, visit the game parks.
How many are they, by the way?
There are 540 athletes, but also we have 300 delegates who are affiliated to the International Amateur Athletics Federation. We've got international journalists. Actually, I'm told some of them have already visited our game parks, and some good stories are already out there. So this country is safe. We regret what happened, but we have the Ministry of Defense. That ground where the cross-country is going to take place is under Ministry of Defense. It is guarded by the UPDF, but we also have the police who work with the army to ensure that not just Kololo or Kampala, but the whole country is actually secured. So no problem, let the cross-country take place, let people come and watch, and let us enjoy ourselves as a country, as we remain vigilant in what goes on around us in terms of security.
Talking of watching Apollo, how is this going to happen on Sunday? I understand everybody can access free of charge, except for those that will occupy, is it the pavilion, will pay 50,000 shillings? Tell us about
those
that.
Who will occupy the pavilion, yes, will pay 50,000 shillings. The metropolitan traffic will give guidelines of how to access the airstrip. Yesterday we had a meeting which was chaired by the IGP himself at the airstrip, and guidelines how the airstrip will be accessed were issued. But the 50,000 thing will be able to access the pavilion through where we have police, the police station on the upper Koro terrace, and there will be a number of checkpoints for the general public that will be coming. But basically these will basically be, we want the young, we have allowed it particularly for the children, the students and the young children to come and watch for free, because we believe in talent identification.
So the adults have to pay? You need to clarify that.
Yeah, certainly adults have to pay.
How much?
Adults have to pay. It is 50,000 shillings.
So the free entries for students and
free
children?
Free entries for students and children, and basically the 50,000 are those who, and it's also limited anyway. And I need to use this chance actually to tell Ugandans, we have a very big group of Kenyans who are coming. They want to buy all the tickets. So don't get surprised if you find the 3,000 tickets have been bought by Kenyans, because the response from Ugandans has been slow. Ugandans, you know, Ugandans always want to rush at the last minute to be able to purchase these tickets. But nevertheless, we believe Ugandans should all be able to come and support and watch the athletes win at home. When Kiprotich won in London, Ugandans were glued to TV and watching and cheering. I think it is prudent that this time round we don't only watch on TV, but we'll go and watch it live at the airstrip.
All right, let's wrap it up this way, Moses. How do we, after this, because you see many times when there's a big event, we hope that we can capitalize on it, but sometimes that doesn't happen. We plunge and get into a slumber mode of sorts until maybe another one. How do we move forward with this, especially regarding sports in the country, so that there's some kind of impetus, not just for athletics, but for soccer, for all these others, golf, basketball, and the like?
Joel, like I said, the commitment in government is there to support and develop sports. And if you realize some of the most pressing things of the country, like infrastructure, we have made some progress. Even security itself, we've made some progress. Now government is gradually shifting towards improving social livelihoods, even things like sports. So I believe through organizations like Uganda Athletics Federation, where Apollo is from, if we streamline, you know, our planning, because he talked about here of an oversight in, for example, maybe issues to do with publicity. If we streamline that and are clear on our priorities, for example, now we are winding up the budgeting process for next financial year. So what are the critical priorities? Are they facilities? Is it infrastructure? Is it equipment? Is it welfare of our sportsmen? Because surely it's not practically possible to do everything, but if we are clear on the priorities, that for example, if you build a facility, then people can start, you know, doing some training, some drills. Then you come to the equipment. What should we do first, and what should come next? If we are clear on that, There's a lot of goodwill within the government to do this, because we know the sports has brought a lot of honor to this country. Earlier you talked about Kiprotich. It was amazing seeing him hoisting the Uganda flag and crossing the line. It's a very good brand for the country. So we want to do more of that as government, and we are going to do it. Question is, where do we start from? Increasingly, more resources are going to be freed to areas like sports. So I'm looking forward to, in the medium term, 2, 3, 4 years, I think support to sports should have improved greatly. We have the support, the full support of none other than the president himself. The Minister of Sports and Education now is a very passionate person. I am happy to have worked with her under the office of the Prime Minister. She's so passionate about what she does. The First Lady, Mama Janet, is into this. So, and I also know she's a good mobilizer of alternative funding. There's funding from the government, but she's also very good at mobilizing other sources of funding. So our sports is looking good going forward, and I think if we have the ministry itself, the associations being clear, like I've said, on the priorities. For now, let's. Even the companies, they have the corporate social responsibility. All over the world, it's not only governments that fund sports. And earlier he talked about some companies they are working with. So all these profits they make is money generated from here. So we would welcome them to support government and other sources of funding, so that we take our sports to the next level. Joel, of course, the media, yourselves, Joel, thank you very much for inviting us here. You can imagine we are talking to probably millions of people out there on TV, online. So we talk to these people so we come together and do a good job as government, but also as development financing, even corporate companies and individuals. So we handle this together and do a good job for our sports.
We look forward to seeing Uganda's star shining and rising high. Thank you, gentlemen.
Next time you tell me that on Friday I should not come with a tie. so I'm like you.
Actually, we have all gotten the dress code wrong. We should have come clad in, I don't know, sports attire or that kind of thing.
I'm coming with my uniform.
So you will be forgiven in a way, but...
so I come with my sleeveless shirt next time.
That would be a good thing. But thank you. Moses Watasa is Commissioner Information Dissemination, Monitoring and Inspection, Office of the Prime Minister, and Apollo Musherure, Assistant General Secretary, Uganda Athletics Federation. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up is my opinion. I need to be honest here. I'm not a big-time sports fan, but every time that Uganda is involved in something, I get excited. Why? Because I'm Ugandan. Whenever the Cranes is playing, sometimes I don't even know who they are playing, but I get excited, you know. Whenever I know it's Olympics and our athletes are going to be tussling it out in something, they've got different names of these different, you know, activities that they participate in, I get excited. And this is even more exciting because it is home. I hope we can get excited, all of us, that we shall be rooting for our athletes, I was about to say Uganda Cranes, but that we shall be rooting for our athletes to make the cut. That's very important. And by us, I mean everybody, that government will play its part, avail the funds, that the federations will be involved, do all that they need to do, and that we shall be out there to support them. And hopefully, this will be a start to bigger things happening for this good country regarding sports and everything therein. So look forward to Sunday. They have promised that it will be broadcast live. Hopefully that will happen, so we get to be a part of it. But even better, go and watch it live. That's the big story for today. Thank you for joining us. My name is Joel Senyonyi.